Today happens to be the first Friday of the month of July. I repeat, the first Friday of the month of July. And if you are not already aware, that simply means the non-farm payroll. So that means that over here at about 1:30 p.m. UK time, we are going to have high impact news for CAD and for the US dollar. So expect volatility in the market whenever we have this kind of news coming out. Based on the volatility, we could have slippage, we could have whipsaw, spread increment, we could have a whole lot of other things that could happen in the market. A lot of people will probably make a lot of money, but then you have more people that would lose and even crash their accounts. It is best for you not to be on the negative side. Now, as we are talking about the non-farm payroll, we're going to look at the build-up for the USD because the USD is the main attraction for today. So for the USD, which is the DXY, we're going to be looking at this from the 30 minutes time frame. We did a little analysis this week where we said the DXY has what? Has been tanking. This is the wave, this is the movement that we have been having this week. So my question now is, how much lower can the DXY go before it pulls back? That's the question, because we have this major area here that price should pull back to, or maybe even here. But at least I'm expecting 105.40 area of interest, which happens to be an area of resistance. If you look to the left-hand side, you can see the resistance here. I can see the support here as well. So this is a key area that price should retest sooner than later. Now, with that said, we're going to look at the Euro USD, Pound USD. Of course, we focus on a few instruments, just a few instruments, gold and Bitcoin. We're just going to breeze through them as well, just to have a look at what is happening to them. Now, if you take note, just like the DXY, the USD that we looked at now, this looks pretty much opposite to the DXY. In this case, you can see the price is going up. So this is the wave that we have here. And if you check probably your RSI or you check your MACD, you might probably have some form of divergence here. So that simply means that price should what? Should drop, right? Now, as this is an uptrend, you'll be expecting buyers to jump in. I can tell you for a fact that this area of support, quite right, is a support. Looking to the left-hand side, it's a resistance. So you'll be expecting it to act as support. But this area is just too tight and it doesn't make sense to jump in here because of the reward. So I would be expecting, personally, I would love for price to drop all the way down to about 1.0770 area of support, which has not been tested yet. If you look to the left-hand side, acted as resistance, it came close to it here, but it is yet to be tested. So this day, the first Friday, the 5th of July, trust me, the market is up to something, right? And for me, my bias for the DXY is what? Is that it needs to pull back, it needs to push higher. And with that said, this Euro USD, it needs to drop, right? At least from my own analysis. Mind you, this is going to be a CT trade, a counter trend trade. Now, let's quickly jump into the pounds USD, the cable. You can see more or less the same thing that we have. It's more or less the same scenario that we normally have most times, simply because the USD is heavily involved, right? And since we're talking about the pound USD, I'm sure you are aware that they just concluded the elections and they have a new prime minister from the Labour Party. But we are not here to talk about that. The focus now is on the DXY with respect to the non-farm payroll, the NFP, coming out later today by 1:30 p.m. UK time. Yes, UK time. Congrats to the new prime minister. And then we have here as a form of resistance yet to be tested as support. So this one could as well drop to the downside, pull back here, and then drop further down. Don't forget, the news is about 1:30 p.m., so we could have some sideways market until the news comes out and then it could blast. Mind you, even though I am biased with respect to pullbacks, meaning for counter trend trades, CT trades. That does not mean that the market cannot still push higher, right? But always ensure that apart from the bias that you have, always ensure that you are prepared just in case price goes the other way, right? Now, quickly, let's take a quick look at gold and then Bitcoin before we call it a day. You can see I don't need to say much about the gold. It pretty much looks as if we're looking at the same instrument from the EURUSD, from the GBPUSD, and now gold. They all look pretty much the same, meaning that they are all ripe for CT trades, for counter trend trades. You can see where this gold is now. They are all ripe for counter trend trades to drop down. And gold, trust me, it has a beautiful and a long way to go. This will be good for a few hundred pips thereabout. Now, quickly, let's look at the Bitcoin. We try not to make our videos way too lengthy so that you can watch them over and over again. Now, look at the Bitcoin. Look at this beauty. There is pressure. I'm telling you, there's pressure where, and I'll tell you it is to the upside. But people are not just saying this. They're expecting, oh, it's going down, let me sell. If you are selling where the market is now, trust me, you're in trouble. Because even if you want to sell, wait for price to get to the area of resistance over here, right? Wait for price to pull back. That means that the CT traders should be the ones to take charge over here. And I'm sure for a fact I can tell you that we have traders that are fading their positions. Fading their position simply means if they had entered here to buy, a price went down, probably putting another one, probably putting another one, excuse me, probably putting another one. This is also known as the martingale strategy, but it is very, very dangerous. The good thing about this strategy now is that when the market eventually goes up, they'll have about 1, 2, 3, 4 positions in profit. But you need to know how to calculate the spacing based on when you place your next negative entry. Now you need to also work on your risk management appropriately, because when you're adding to your losing trades, your drawdown tends to get larger and larger. Now, with that said, now if you notice, based on today's NFP data release, we are already expecting something technically. We're expecting pullbacks, but that does not mean, I repeat, that does not mean that the market cannot still go in the direction it has been going. But we're expecting pullback because the market looks overstretched for the DXY, which should affect the Euro USD, the Pound USD, gold, and Bitcoin. That means that we should be expecting for price to retrace, even if it is going to do what? Even if it's going to fall down, it should at least retrace to TP1 or TP2. So that means that in this case for today, based on the non-farm payroll, right? For me, CT trades are what should be the main concentration. And if you are not a counter trend trader, leave it alone and wait to see price pull back to your areas of interest for you to jump in with the prevailing trend. And with that said, I want to say thank you guys. Protect your account accordingly. Please make sure that your stop loss is in place. Make sure you keep an eye prior to 1:30 p.m. UK time. Why? Simply because there could be slippages. There could even be gaps based on how fast the market might move. To protect your account accordingly, and if you don't have any directional bias, please be on the sidelines. Shut down your system, take a walk, and then come back much later. Guys, if this video was helpful in any way, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, that when we drop bangers like this next time, you watch them on time and then you take advantage. Okay, thank you guys. Catch you in a few. Yeah, by the way, we're going to be having a live market analysis session. Hit the subscribe button and then you'll be able to connect to the live market analysis session just before the NFP numbers. That means that we're going to be looking at it together live and direct. Okay, see you in a few hours. Thank you and goodbye for now. Cheers.